Hey guys, in this video I want to talk to you about the 3 reasons why dogs pull on leash. Whenever you are dealing with a behavior issue or you want to change a specific behavior, it's really important to look at the function of the behavior. And what I mean by that is look at the reason why the dog is doing the thing, okay? So when it comes to pulling, we want to look at why the dog is pulling. What's their goal? What are they trying to achieve? So we'll go over the 3 main reasons today. It might not cover everything, but it should cover the main ones. So reason number 1, it works, right? So it gets them to where they want to go. We tend to follow them when they're pulling us. We tend to, we don't want to let them smell the smells and go check out the tree that the squirrel ran up. We want to just hurry up and get them into the doggy daycare so we can go off to work. We want to let them go greet the people, and it's just kind of sometimes easier if we let them pull us all the way there and not worry about that. So the issue there is that they're getting reinforced then for pulling, right? And we can't reinforce them sometimes for pulling and then not at other times and expect them to just think, well, last time I didn't get reinforced, so I guess I'll stop. It's actually the opposite. If you just sort of intermittently reinforce them for pulling, chances are good that they will try to pull even more often going forward. So it's important that you stay really consistent with this one. Reason number 2, it feels good. So some dogs actually really get a bit of an adrenaline rush off of pulling. So for some dogs, it physically feels good, and for other dogs, it mentally and emotionally, I guess, feels good. So some dogs, like let's say sled dogs, for example, it physically feels good to them because that's what they were bred for. That is quite literally what we humans bred them for, is to pull things that behind them that are going in opposition of them, meaning that when there's pressure put on the back of their harness or the back of their neck, they tend to want to pull against that, and it physically feels good to them. So there's the reinforcement in it for them. Other dogs, like let's say terriers, for example, they love the arousal of anything in the environment. They're all in. They're either at 0 or they're at 100, right? So they're all in with the pulling. So that high drive type behavior, that's what the terriers, as an example, love to do. That's what they feed off of. So that becomes very reinforcing for them. So another example along those lines would probably be like the bully breeds or the bulldog breeds, who they like to really engage all of their muscles. They like to engage their full body and things. So for them, it again, physically, emotionally, and mentally probably feels really good. Okay, so that is a pretty common reason, and so you're kind of on an uphill battle there, because we have to think of ways that we can give them that reinforcement, that feel-good stuff, that feel-good adrenaline, but not on the leash. Reason number 3, and this is a big one, they are emotional and they just can't help it. Okay, so this is the dog who is easily triggered by his environment. This is the dog who sees another dog and starts pulling towards it because he wants it to go away. So maybe he's pulling, lunging, barking, getting a little snarky, stuff like that. Maybe he's trying to scare that dog away. He's trying to put up a good front because he knows he's on leash, he's stuck. Maybe another dog who's emotional is trying to pull because he's trying to run away from something in the environment. Another really common example, but often overlooked, is the dog who doesn't pull very much on the way out, but pulls a lot on the way home. So that is often a dog who feels a lot more comfortable at home, and they're kind of just rushing the part where they get to go home, right? So they're trying to get there. Or they feel more confident just on the way back because they've already done the out. So the out and back thing. So they've already gone out into the world. They kind of needed you right there with them, so they stuck with you. They checked in with you more often. But on the way back, they know where they're going, and they're just ready to get there, and they feel more confident around that path. So when you're dealing with the emotional stuff, it's kind of like the emotional brain takes the driver's seat, which puts the thinking brain in the back seat, right? They can't both be driving at the same time. So it's really important that you understand that if your dog is being emotional, and you can tell usually by looking at their body language, looking at their eyes, their ears, where their tail is, just their overall general demeanor in body language. If you look at that, you can tell if they're emotional, and if they are emotional, that's when it's time to seek out help, professional help. And I say that because it's so easy to do the wrong thing. It's so easy to get the wrong information or work with a trainer who uses a lot of punishment methods, and you can't punish fear, right? That's only going to make it worse. So it's really easy to kind of go down the wrong path when it comes to anything emotional. And it's a lot harder to find the right information out there and kind of go at it on your own. So I would highly recommend that if you think you're dealing with an emotional dog, you seek out help, because this isn't just your regular run-of-the-mill leash pulling. This is an emotional problem, okay? So those are the top 3 reasons. So number 1, it works. Number 2, it feels good. Number 3, they are emotional. So your first step to dealing with any behavior problem is trying to figure out the function.